bring more commissioners into the umbrella of NARA, because a lot of people are not involved with NARA at all. And that's to create a more support type of platform as commissioners are, so that they're trying to have more say in what happens at the conferences for commissioners. That commissioners are more involved. In fact, our new president-elect next year will be Carl Ritchie, who is commissioner. There's only 2 commissioners that have been Harvard presidents, and Carl is, and I think some of us, of course, I know Carl very well. And in fact, the current president was a commissioner before too. So I think it was a great conference. I really liked the presentation that Joe and Lois did. That was outstanding. And there was another presentation that I thought was well done with an expert come in and talk about understanding the financials when you're in a board meeting, to know what you should, how to read the financial statements and go through those. And it was very, very well done. And the opening session was outstanding. One of the actors from Ghostbusters was the opening. Yeah. He was in housing he was in housing as a youth growing up in Chicago. Never thought he could get to college, never thought he could do anything. And someone gave him an upper hand in the housing authority, showed him that he could be successful. So it was outstanding.
You know, Richie, our new president to be grew up in public housing.
Yeah, Carl Ritchie grew up in public housing.
Yeah.
So there's a great understanding. And
No, he's got
to be head of NARA is great, is outstanding.
I think he's got a law degree from Harvard.
Yes. He's an attorney in Austin.
Excellent.
Any questions other than that?
This might be a question for later, but I don't think we need to extrapolate it here, but I'd like to talk with you about, you said it was a good presentation on what to look for in financials for commissioners. I'd like to just sit down and have coffee with you sometime and talk about that.
Actually, maybe what we should do, because I think that would be beneficial for all of us, is if you could maybe do a little mini session at perhaps maybe our next board meeting, if we could allow some time for
Right
that.
to the next board meeting, yeah.
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 I think it
I'd
would be
like
very
to.
beneficial for all of the directors.
I'd like to.
Yeah, I just think it'd be great if we could learn some, specifics, because when you say that it's helpful, but then for those of us that weren't there, what was helpful? How can we get better too? Because you got a chance to learn something, so, if we can move that on to the rest of us, I think I would really enjoy that, Thomas.
I'll do that. In fact, one session that Jill did, some of the commissioners would like to get your program on homeless, respite for homeless. So yeah, I'd like to do that. Any specific time?
Put you on the agenda. I don't know, how you wanna do that? I don't know if you wanna do that in the context of a board meeting,
Maybe if it would be acceptable, let's do it right after the board meeting next time. If we can keep our board meeting fairly short, we do have the public meeting as well.
If they have good PowerPoints, we can put them in our website too, to do PowerPoints.
Does that sound okay?
So we could send it out.
Well, the commissioners really want to be on the agenda, but they want, because commissioners, there are usually more commissioners at these conferences than there are EDs. And they want to make an impact on the direction NARA is going.
So
Well,
It's, yeah, so I, serve on CRND, that's the arm of HUD that does homeless programs and tax credit and CDBG. Our board, passed a couple of resolutions, we created a RAD toolkit, we did that, white paper on homeless, for the homeless task force, which I serve on. And then as part of that, we did, presentations this year, nationally. We did an entire track at the regional conferences on homelessness and an entire track, and this will be ongoing, on homelessness nationally. But Lois and I did present our medical respite pilot program. And it was, I think it was well received. I think Sioux Falls is looking really seriously because they have a Sanford, that was at the regional one. But I did put kind of the impact of it, and in 6 months, they think that they have saved $2.673 million for taxpayers in Sanford of what it would have been to keep people in hospitalization when they didn't need it instead of discharging them to the street. And they said even if you only counted 25% of the actual days where we put them either in that one public housing unit that we set aside or New Life takes them in, 664,000 in 6 months, and we're just getting off the ground, just starting, so it will only get
That's
bigger.
mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
And nobody left your
And it's so
session.
much kinder, no.
It was one of the late sessions,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
left, everybody, I mean, they stood, I mean, they stood.
You know, and we were part of a panel, so we had to cut it down by 2/3,
Yeah.
and when we did it in regional, it was 1 hour and 20 minutes, and people were just bawling, because residents that were in the programs were talking, and it was very, very moving, it was really impactful of the difference it had made in their life.
Interesting.
And we had to
That's
cut all of those out.
Yeah, oh, you goodness.
Yeah, because, yeah. And I think that was, maybe the couple, and then we talked about HATMA, of course, and, I don't know if you knew Saul Ramirez is no longer with HUD, so
Yeah.
they're looking for, or HUD, no.
No, no. Okay. Anything else on the conference? Let's go on to core values meeting.
Well, I can,
Sorry. Customer succeed.
okay, thank you, Thomas.
Thanks,
I don't know, did I need to review it for all of us? I think it was here, with the exception of Grace and a couple others.
I just, I came away very excited. I thought it was a good exercise. Makes me feel very hopeful that we are just really gonna shore things up and start moving forward kind of in a unified direction.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a heartwarmer that the values that were expressed were my values. You know, so many of the staff are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
You know, here's why we're here, here's what we respect and what we value, and I thought that was a very well spent, several hours. And I think I stated this there, it would have been nice to have all of the staff involved with that, but hopefully we can, once you complete that process, convey that to the rest of the staff.
On a very much an ongoing basis, from
Yes.
making it part of the evaluation and reviews, to a part of the hiring process, to part of the team meetings that you have,
Yep.
really incorporating it into the everyday life of the organization. And I don't know, well, you probably got the email saying that we do need to schedule one more meeting to just finish up that process, and then of course, we'll keep going from there, but for this one part of it, we have one more meeting to set up.
So we think, don't we, Amy, that it'll be Thursday, August 25th, 9 to 12
Yep.
is the last,
I think we
email
all-
that John just
we-
said,
we
so
agreed
maybe
to that.
put it on your
Yeah,
calendar.
I
You'll
have
get
a
official
meeting
notice,
at
but
12, but it's just
you might
across
wanna
the
look
street,
at your
so
calendars quickly.
that should work wonderful.
See if that works.
I just gotta make sure.
I plan on making, you know, if that time works for us all, I plan on making that meeting reminder or sending it today.
Okay.
I received confirmation right before our meeting today, so I haven't sent it out yet.
And do an Outlook thing again for the book, awesome. Okay, I like that. Okay,
Thursday, August 25th, you said?
Yeah. Any other questions on the core values meeting? I mean, it got you thinking,
Yep, that's good.
yeah.
From listening to employees, they, you know, they are wanting to receive communication and on a plan for implementing the core values.
And that will come one step at a time. So, I'm not blowing you off, but one step at a time. We'll get that figured out once we get those figured out.
And I understand what you're saying there, I'm just simply
Doesn't help you.
communicating the information.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, and you know, if we don't eventually communicate the information and utilize this information that's being compiled, that'll
this
be
is all
more
for nothing.
detrimental.
Well, yeah, plus the fact that this would all be for nothing, and I agree with you, definitely. But again, I wanna get through this and then we'll set out our next steps and keep moving ahead from there.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that John Conley said that this is a process that's gonna take many months to fully implement. You know, I fully understand that some people might be saying, okay, we did this, so what's the impact? Looking for immediate impact. I think it's gonna be a processional impact, and then we have to